Good morning. So technical bounce, viable bottom. Is the bounce over? Heading back down to the lows. Let's look at a few things here. Some charts. So, as you know, interest rates have been a primary driver of what's happening in equities. So, looking at bond markets, the 10-year, um, you can see prices came down, which means, well, they were higher. So interest rates are moving back up. That's one thing. So we always look to see where prices are related to support and resistance when there's reactions. And you can see this didn't quite get down here. Not that it has to, regardless of the news, which basically seems like the market had a little sell off on, they're shooting off some bombs over there. And then it was like, okay, maybe it was just like, hey, we didn't like what you did. So, we're going to blow up a little thing over here. It's really not a big deal. We just have to show some face and let's just see what happens. So a little bit of relief rally there going on, which based on the technicals, that's all it is. In the bigger picture, almost meaningless as far as the market's making the low. Let's just call it the low, which has not happened yet. So bonds coming down to an area of support. So maybe interest rates beginning to not beginning to nothing really, just backing off for the moment. They're in an uptrend. You can see where they are. So gapping down from this bar, which no matter what this was, stock ABC, Qs, doesn't matter. Wide range bar up, power bar creates void. Consolidation at the moment suggests it's going higher. So, what's happening here this morning is just a technical reaction to the news. And so there's going to require more information to suggest anything other than, hey, if you can hold on to the gain today, rather than like the last few days, hey, look at this nice rally intraday. Oh, nice rally. Take advantage of it. Get out. Sell it back down to the lows. So at this moment, we'll just see how today turns out. It's the end of the week. I got this open here. You see breadth got down to this area I talked about earlier in the week. Didn't quite get under minus 300, close enough for the government work to say, hey, you're close. Sentiment is not there yet, but at least came down a bit. You can see, day before yesterday that there was a lot of put buying into the close on the way down. I mentioned this is what we want to see. We want to see these option traders betting on a crash. Close, not quite there yet. So we don't have the stars aligned as we would like them to be. But look, the equity put call ratio is into the lower bands. The total put call ratio is not into the lower bands. Breadth has reached an extreme. We need to see a little bit more. A few other things we're looking at. When you start getting like measured kind of moves, right? Strong move down, another move down into support, you're getting close to at least a bounce. So this is just a retail index. It's just down a lot. It's into support. So we would assume that somewhere in here, buyers would begin to step up. Now, yesterday's bar, you can see it was a green bar. We saw a lot of this yesterday. And then sellers took control again and down it went, which would, if this news wasn't coming out, this kind of a pattern would suggest under these lows, coming down to the next support level. Now, there's only a dot there, but, so far it just looks like an inside bar. Technology index, big rounding top, vertical move to the downside, coming into an unfilled gap. There's another one down here, little technical bounce, not much going on. Really not a big deal. We'll see what Friday, well, the weekly bar looks like so far. It's at a wide range, bearish, igniting bar out of a rounding top, which for the moment is stalled at this pivot low. Bar like that suggests, just like on a daily chart next week, could be a consolidation week. We might see some choppy price action here, even based on this morning's, a little relief bounce that's going on. 1, 2, 3 down to this level. We'll just, of course, going to have to see how that plays out. But so far, that is what we have for the moment. All right, other markets. Futures. Let's start with S&Ps. All right, so big bounce off of the low there. Came down to this major support level. Again, if it was down here, if it went down there during the trading day, this news wasn't there, this would have been a marvelous kind of opportunity with, some kind of bottoming action like this intraday, but again, it happened overnight. So if you were up in the middle of the night there, listening to whatever, watching, there was an opportunity, but unfortunately now it's into a resistance area, which is suggests to me there's going to be sellers here. It's going to chop around. We would watch to see the action here to see, can it go higher? It's already come a long way. And as we look at SPY and where it's at, it's basically, and these are bad ticks. I don't think these are real here. I looked at SSO, which is a leveraged spider or S&Ps, and it had this one, but I think that's just a bad tick. So I think they came down here, and you can see the unfilled gap area on the daily chart where the cursor is, and it's rallied back up toward 500, and it's filled the gap. So a technical bounce, a relief bounce. Weekly is a big nasty bar. We'll see what it does here. Can it hold on to the gain, or does it roll right back over again? At resistance. Qs, same thing. You can see the bad tick, which means just erroneous price action was happening at that time. But there's the bottoming price action that occurred, rallies up to resistance, gap fill, low down near the pivot on the daily time frame, bottoming tail over here on the weekly, technical bounce. It fell vertically. Would make sense to have some kind of a relief bounce, dead cat bounce, call it whatever. As I said earlier in the week, when we're looking at the S&P coming down to a support level, are we going to have a buy setup? I said, well, maybe, but it's going to take a few weeks. So I still believe the same thing. Prices are coming off here a little bit. Of course he has, Dan. When he was a kid, he used to get the cats, throw them on the ground, and see if they would bounce. It was on YouTube. Dan's always got some jokes he's asking Alex if he ever saw a dead cat bounce. Oh, my response. All right, SPX. So nowhere near yesterday's strikes. Today, those were yesterday. Today, last I looked, and as I said, where did I write it down? 50.90. So that come down a little bit. It's not going up there today. And I said that like you can bet your life on it. Don't ever do that. And in 49.10, I wish it would go down there, but I don't believe that's going to happen either. So, with this kind of volatility, these strikes get so far away that the likelihood of going there now, do you want to get a little closer, like in this area here where the juice is going to be significantly higher? And take a look. Option chain. And take a look at, let's just say 49.70. That's some pretty big juice there, right? So I'm picking where there's sufficient amount to say do 20 wide, no brainer. You're going home, right? Was that line from trading day? So you're far enough away that the probability of touching that area is virtually zippo. I shoot off another bomb, yeah, I could go down there. But that's not likely to happen. And the call side, I got some other stuff thrown in here, I guess monthlies that are in there. Or they're zeroing out as we get closer to the open. Anyway, you get the idea. 50 MA up there, just above, resistance areas. They're not likely to travel that far. And right now they're about here since they were filling the gap and coming off a little bit. So right in the middle of between these strikes, highly unlikely they're going to get there today. Crude oil's down a little bit. Again, it was higher, come back down. It's like, oh, they didn't blow up any nuclear facilities. They didn't blow up whatever. Okay. Reactions to initial news. Oh, it was just playing patty cake kind of stuff. Back down again. We'll see if it settles out. Bitcoin, bounce up. Pretty much what we're going to see across the board. Gold is holding steady. It was a little higher. Same whipsaw around there. Transports getting annihilated, regardless of airlines that have rallied. I guess that was earnings. Why they went up that much, I don't know. But they had a big bounce and through all the moving averages, down well below the 200 extended. Eventually, I think it's got to get down there. Pretty bearish looking weekly chart. And what else to check out here? The Dow was showing a little relative strength there. But, just flip-flopping around, you can see again, it was higher during the trading day. It gave it back, topping tail bar. We'll see what it does. Ideally, it just keeps, whatever, chopping around a little bit, goes back down. Financials, a little bit of a relief rally, topping tail bar. Where are they? Inside that bar. Not a big deal. Right. So just a little news event. There's no economic news today to move markets around. So whatever sets up here during the trading day, we'll see. Day trades and what else to cover here? The dollar knocking off a little bit. This euro looks like it's got to come down here. The pound, that looks like it's, just same kind of relief rally. That looks like it's got to go lower. So whatever intraday bounces or lack thereof that we get, yen just being annihilated here. New lows. And Australia, nothing of significance is happening here other than some wiggle. From the big picture point of view, nothing here suggests that we should be thinking about loading the boat with longs. So that's my views. Take it away, Dan.
Oh, 1,000% agree with that. We're no reason to load the boat long. But we've been trail stopping. We're still heavily short. So protecting those gains and just getting ready for the turn. But with that big overnight reversal, like you said, I read that reversal identical to as if the market were open. So that's step one. Step two is you already talked about it. Let's see if it holds. I mean, ideally, this 15-minute chart, if it can go sideways for an hour, then we got an inverse head and shoulders over the high, at the day's high, where we should be finding 0 DTE put spreads galore. I got on this, somebody got me on this option selling Facebook page, and I just noticed, I think he's one of the organizers. He says, I'm just reminding everybody, don't ever sell puts on option expiration day. And I just had to politely ask him, why on earth would you say such a thing? I don't get it. But it's the same guy who said 2 days ago, don't ever sell puts on DJT because it has bad fundamentals. And he gave a whole list, 20 other ones. And I said the same thing. Why would you say such a thing? If you're an option seller, it's exactly what I want to do. So my alarm went off pre-market. We actually did this yesterday in the morning reversal. I think wherever 30-minute high, whenever we did it yesterday morning. So I'm looking to take my profits in the gap up today. Raul on YouTube asking about shorting 4 yesterday's low. I mean, it's a good pattern, Raul, but I've been saying the last couple of days the easy pickings for new shorts are over. I'm not saying we still can. I got a couple here that still look good, but I love piling on long or short at an igniting turn. So on Monday, when we gapped up and gave it up, we became 95% short in all 3 of our letters. And, into the close yesterday, I said, I'm fully bearish. My buy, there's no reversal. There's no reason to be bullish yet. And Alex and I are both hoping we sell off another $10, get down to 490. But, we have that overnight reversal on bad news is impressive. So, same argument. Let's see if we hold here at the open. Other alarms going off on Dash. I guess I had one print here, set my alarm off. We have a call spread, but this is also a 1, 2, 3 short that looks like a good new setup. Target, sink and fall $5. So this looks great as a new trade. Let me set an alarm as a new trade. How about 129.90? And so we've also been talking a lot this week about, since we don't have the easy pickings, at least in my opinion, because of the broader market, of what type of new trades I would be interested in. So yeah, this is a nice. And the quick answer is close to major resistance in the 20 MA, not a bunch of fluid bars down far from the 20. HWM alarm went off. Here's an example. There's an example of a new trade I would consider. Bearish sideways, 1, 2, 3, and avoid. Close to the 20 and the 50. See, so as a new trade, that looks great. So does Dash. Let me set a new alarm on this. My alarm went off already. How about 63.40? Yeah, see, I'm seeing a print of 63.07, which is what's messing me up. That's what I think. I'll just put it in a window and watch the open. An IGV alarm went off. We're short that in our we're 100% short in our ETF letter. Our Q alarm went off. We're short this too on Monday, under last Friday's low. Breakdown daily, weekly, monthly. It's not hard. Multiple time frame alignment, RQ. Goes in the ETF letter. Bigger gain based on bigger time frames. MA, I had an alarm go off. We were short stock. And we took our money on the call spread yesterday because we had like 85% gain in one day. But we're still short 2/3 of our position in that. All right, those are the alarms. Let's go to earnings trades now. Netflix, we were contemplating, remember in the green room, selling the 715s naked for $1 and change. That would have been a home run. But, you know, topping pattern daily, weekly, Climo monthly. So it made sense just to focus on the call side. You know, this, you know, it's an ugly gap, but it's so big and the premiums are going to be jacked over a 30-minute high. It's a put spread candidate. But that's why I emphasize the word candidate. I'll tell you if it sets up or not. 386 gapping over these 3 bars. That's a put spread candidate. 0 DTE. PPG junk, no pattern. Regional banks, for the most part, going lower here. That's a breakdown, daily, weekly, monthly, but no good entry. I see the minder shows it down 60, but that's also looks lower. I think that's regional. That's a gap. It's a continuation gap breakdown. We're already in a downtrend. Look at the parallel 2050. So that could be 30-minute low. This, remember in the green room, Procter & Gamble, I said yesterday that we could trade this either direction. If it opened flat, it would either be a double bottom or it'd be a continuation breakdown with a bear 1, 2, 3 on the weekly. But it's down too much now, pre-market wise. AXP was down, now it's flat, garbage slob down, but down a lot. Wow, that's quite a round trip. That's a big round trip on slob. With this trades like an EDR, all those gaps. Fit B up a, I don't trust it. It says it's up $1, but I see a low print right here. But I don't see any pattern anyway. IBAN junk. There's a lot of regional banks, RF regional, down. Yeah, so you see most of these regional banks are going downtown. All right, let's see. Meta is the only positive thing pre-market here. All right, this is just carryover list, watch list. PLD is a Climo watch. Pergo is a new short idea Alex gave us. I got an alarm. AI, I'm just watching to see if he'll make a turn. Gulf Delta, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 in an uptrend. So the target's not as big. I obviously like 1, 2, 3s, 4s, from, you know, rounding tops under the 2050. Jable would have been a short setup, target 200, but it looks like it's opening down there on some news. SEMO. Now this is one, and I set an alarm at 74. This is one that it could be a failed buy setup that then buyers step up again, and then it's a more multi-bar turn with a void. So it's just one of these what ifs. That's why I have an alarm. Para, $12. That's a big gap for a little stock. I think there's some buyout rumors. IR could be a day trade short. Yesterday's low. AMP. It says it's up $7, but I don't see anything. But this was another short idea under all those lows. XPO, I'm hoping for a 1, 2, 3 for Monday. FOR, This is a candidate of what we call bullish gap surprise. Two big bars down on volume on support in the 200. Let's just see what it does. Martin, I'm just watching it as a possible Climo watch. Another big wide range bar as far from the 20. These are not anywhere near setting up. Now, this one could be a nice day trade over yesterday's high. This is a Climo. We got our bottoming tail. So this one I like for a day trade. Yesterday's high. Why am I watching you? I have no idea. PLD, we already talked about. That's a Climo. I have an alarm at 106. So that's going to be a nice Climo. I might even put that in the weekend letter. All right, I got a couple of alarms here. Dash, low alarm. So this 5-minute low, day or swing trade setup. Let's put in a dash here. That looks good. We have a call spread, as I mentioned, ACLS. We're short, low alarm. We just met our second target. ACLS looks great. Let's move stop over 100 now to protect gains. ACLS. Ergo low alarm. I think, Alex, is that your new trade? Or are we already in that? I forget. Nice ACLS. And, most of the shorts that we have are showing nice relative weakness. All right, watch that dash, this DJT. I'm going to be looking to take profit. ACLS. I see MA actually set up my up alarm. Let me tighten the stop on that. Diamonds and IWM are holding up here. 5-minute chart. All right, MA. Wow, that's a crazy whip. Twilio. I'm just cautious on these shorts. I did like Dash. But I don't trade in the first 5 minutes. But I am cautious on new shorts. HWM. All right, yeah, so my alarm will not go off. Where I'm pretty much in, trail mode here. Trail mode for our shorts. All right, we have break even stop at the MA. Parent is moving. All right, BST. I tighten the stop. Just let that play out. 30-minute high diamonds. Put spread 0 and IWM. And diamonds is deeper into this closing 15-minute pivot. So I like that one a tad more. Diamonds, let there be juice. 376 or lower. Only 32 cents, 32 by 40 naked. That is not very juicy. Netflix, see, no, no pattern, but 15-minute. It's a breakdown failure range expansion. We don't know if it's short covering or what, so I'm surely not doing anything right now. But if this bar closes like this, then I say 15-minute high. We can consider a put spread. How far away can we get? Greg, the 545s are 80 cents. So let's $25 lower. Let's keep an eye on this.
Why don't you just see if the 5 minute closes green?
Okay.
Way too long.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it's a 1, 2, 3, so maybe 10-minute high. Um, PGR, yeah, it's kind of an inverse head and shoulders, Phil. Yeah, I'll put it on the list for next week. Here, this dash. Dash looks great. It'd be a 5-minute 1, 2, 3 lower also. Greg, we have it as a call spread. Do you want it short? I'm just a little more hesitant on these shorts as well.
Well, as long as the stop's far enough away, that trend is down. I don't know. I don't think the market's going to do anything of significance here, other than maybe roll back over again. But time will tell.
All right,
Waiting to see if that goes. S&Ps are going sideways here at some resistance. There was a little buy setup on the 15 overnight, which isn't working out, but it's in an uptrend. So it's going to take a little time to, and NASDAQ futures even weaker. Look at Meta is coming down into a gap fill here. Watch was the strongest yesterday, and so now it's weak. Let's see if it holds here.
it
If
was
it'll
up.
bounce.
It was up over $4 pre-market. Wow,
What's
that's
that?
Meta.
Oh, yeah.
That's quite a reversal.
Apple is near the low of the day. So, the institutions aren't coming for their favorites. Microsoft looks like it's going to go lower. And energy, XLE is ripping higher. So I don't see anything bullish going on here. Google is dropping.
Mm-hmm.
SMHs didn't even fill the gap and reversing back down on the 5.
This stuff down, GMTX trail stuff
It's
down.
just that these things are most, some of these indices that we covered this morning, have dropped a lot in the last few days. So things just may whip around here.
Yeah,
but which would be fine for your Netflix trade.
Yeah, and it blasted new low, so which is fine. We'll just wait for a lower setup.
Yeah.
But,
Nvidia is reversing back down. But Tesla's weak again.
VST up alarm, shoot. That's trail stuffing out it again. Yeah, that little bouncing VST. Stop it's out, although if it closes here, it's a 1, 2, 3. I just moved the stop over this pivot with the gap down. Shouldn't have bounced that hard on that gap down. See, LDOS up. See, I'm getting up alarms here on these shorts that we've been trailing. So that's just another piece of information that we might not want to go down. A lab, we're long half lot. I got a low alarm on that. We're still in it with a stop on big stop under here, but not looking good. All right, EXP, we're short stock and call spread. Garmin, we're in see, here's another one bouncing up. See, we're in trail mode. Our stop is 142.22. Just let it play out. LDOS, you mean, yeah, ours just stepped up too. Let's hold off dash with the market bouncing. I'm not comfortable with new shorts. We're still on the call spread though. I like this time. Well, there's no premium, but a 30-minute high. I like this pattern for a 0 GTE. It has the biggest turn here. IWM also. So it's kind of a small, sloppy gap and snap. $191s. 15 cents. Where is the premium? Oh, sorry, we're out of half of Trump, 30-minute low, half. They're still holding premium. AD line blasting up. Almost 1500, 15-minute bar. Look at this 15-minute bar right here. Man, that's I think this is our reversal, guys and gals. I'm gonna tighten stops even more here. ACLS 99.56. We only have a third left of this. So let it play out. All right, hey, this Reddit from yesterday, Greg, any interest in bottom fishing? New low reversal?
If you want to put a stop under yesterday's low, I mean, intraday, I wouldn't enter it here.
Oh, no, of course, of course, yesterday's low. Of course. I'm talking more in terms of the, pattern and reward to risk. Uh, 38, 36 put spread is a quarter for next week. Google for what, Phil? That's not jumping out at me what you're looking at. Yeah, most things are still negative here. Tesla's still a dog. Man, that thing's been a dog. What, it's cut in half, right? Yeah, 300 to 150. Yep. That dog's cut in half. A coin is a put spread idea. Both in the weekend ladder and zero DTE today. Let me see what the 210s are. 18 cents naked for today. I don't think so, homie. All right, things have settled down, so let's just be patient here and watch the next move.
Hughes took out the high of the day. They're getting rejected. They should have went up and filled the gap. They still might. S&P's in the trading range. 5-minute charts. I don't think of significance happening here yet. Apple's making new lows.
AZEK still looks good. We are short. CNM still looks good. We're short. Expedia short. Hand call spread. GPS long. Half lot. Garmin short. Trailing stop. MA short. Oscar Wilder. Oh, Oscar Wilder. Alex, how come you didn't say anything? Oscar Wilder looks great. That's Okay, that answered it. Let's sell a third right now on the strength.